Rotterdam, and you were called I don't know if it's the right English word, bridge builder. And so you were responsible to make this bridge in that society, in this city. And I was wondering, can you describe the both sides of that river? So what were the both sides you had to bridge? And what were the differences between those both sides?
Look, it's a very good starting point, because this was the way I was described in Rotterdam, while this was not my job. When I came to Rotterdam, I came to talk about citizenship and identity, which was nothing to do with, integration. I'm not using the concept of integration. I think it's an outdated concept. So I came for citizenship, and the perception of the people looking at me saying, as he is a Muslim, he should be involved in something which has to do with bridge builder, which was not the concept. I was here to speak about us, me like you being citizen and trying to find our way. So it was not at all something which is, I was a Muslim talking from the diversity viewpoint.
But before becoming we, then you have to know also a little bit how the other one is thinking, what his identity is, what's the background, his culture.
It's a two-way process. You can talk about citizenship as commonalities, and then from this you say, within the framework, how do we deal with this diversity? So let me just put it like this. From the very beginning, I think that if we want to go from differences to commonalities, the starting point for me is look at the facts. And the facts are two kinds. The first one is, in the Netherlands, as well as in all the European countries or the Western countries, societies have changed. The old homogeneous culture, we have the same culture, we are all white, we are coming from the same background, this is over and will never be coming back again. This is over. This is a fact of history. And I think that we have to look at it as it is. The second point, which is adding to this, a difficulty is that there is no economic survival for any Western country, not only European, any Western country, the States, Canada, European countries, Australia, New Zealand, without immigration. It means that we need workers coming from outside. So not only our societies have changed, but we still are going to change. Why? Because there is no economic survival. We may have a cultural resistance, but the economic reality is telling us no survival without people coming from abroad. So you have to deal with differences and diversities. So these are historical facts.
And also the reason why we organized this afternoon, that you have this dialogue, because you know this society is in transition. You shouldn't shut up about it. You have to talk about it. You have to be sort of curious to know how this society is going to look like and to discuss it with each other. But then still, I'm wondering, Paul Scheffer, can you tell something about, in more general, about what sort of differences we are confronted with in this society? The new differences, the new, maybe the differences is also an effect of the diversity in the society.
Well, let me first say why I accepted to come in one sentence. That we were invited both in Rotterdam in, I think it was September, to join in a discussion, and then of course before the summer Tariq was fired, and also by the university, and I must say both things struck me as a completely wrong decision. Not only politically in the municipality of Rotterdam, not being able to live with all the contradictions and the open debate that he partly provokes, I thought was a mistake. But on top of that, the decision of the university to say we no longer want his presence, I thought was a breach of academic freedom in a very fundamental sense. And I still don't understand that such a thing could happen. I mean, you can disagree or agree about many things, but one of the fundamentals, academic freedom and freedom of speech, that is always, held up as a norm towards the Muslim communities, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. I mean, a society that doesn't live up to these ideals itself loses every right to ask others to, to think about these freedoms. So in that sense, it was for me an occasion